Okay guys, I did what you are just absolutely not allowed to do on a farm. I slept in till 8 and I did all the indoor chores first. And today is gonna be our hottest day of the summer yet. It's gonna be 97 degrees, which is pretty rare for Tennessee, but obviously I'm sweating my life away because the humidity. The heat index, meaning like how hot does it actually seem in your body, is about 115 degrees today. It's gonna be brutal. Yesterday was similar. It was like 95 or 96 and the heat index was in a similar place, but the crazy thing about that is you get severe weather that is unpredicted that kind of forms. And so yesterday afternoon, as I was outside weeding in the just drenching hot, we got a little bit of cloud cover and then the wind picked up and then a crazy storm came through. And it actually ended up being pretty severe south of us, but it made the rest of the day like I could have put a sweatshirt on last night, which is just insane and so crazy. And I love it. It's cool. So today we are at another risk of severe weather, even though there is no anticipated storms yet. They literally just form because there's so much moisture in the air. So we might get another severe storm. We are preparing for our 4th of July party. Today, as I record, is, what day is it? Friday. And our party is Sunday. And we have, like 130, 150 people come. So we are mowing and mowing and mowing and mowing and mowing and weeding and cleaning and cooking and doing all the things to prepare for that. We love it. This is like our, 6th annual or so. But I wanted to take you in the greenhouse because we've had such hot days. It's, brutal. Like the plants look a little bit weak and wimpy because it's so hot and we really should be watering twice a day. But honestly, I thought of it at about 10:30 last night and I was like, I'm not going out there to water, but it's fine. They're fine. And we have discovered something that we've learned this year. Our tomatoes got a little bit of rot. I don't know why that is. Supposedly it is because of a lack of calcium in the soil. So how you remedy that, in case you were wondering, without fertilizer, is Tums, like antacid. And you just dissolve some colorful Tums in the soil under the plant, and apparently that works, which I will say we have had, sorry, I'm getting flies and bugs. We have had some success with that, but I am seeing a little bit more. So I'm going to put some more Tums in my tomato plants. Really, it's the tomato plants are the only ones that have gotten it. It's like the bottom of the tomato, I'll show you, starts to get black. And it can spread, so you have to cut those out, which is sad because we did have such a case of rot like a couple weeks ago that we lost like all of our early crop of the like meaty tomatoes, like the Heritage and the Purple Cherokee and stuff. So we do have a ton of the little like cherry tomatoes in various colors coming in, but not so much of the big tomatoes that I really, really love. So they're coming, they're just gonna be late, which is fine because I actually just planted some new tomato plants to see how long I can grow tomatoes into the year, because we typically have really, really hot Augusts and sometimes even September. So I'm feeling like I might be able to sneak in a whole nother batch of tomatoes, but who knows, we'll see. We also have our broccoli sprouting, which I've never grown broccoli, and I mean, we could eat it, and that's crazy because I thought that was a winter crop. We are gonna plant a lot more of that. The things that I wish I would have planted more of are onions, broccoli, specifically onions and broccoli for sure. Probably Brussels sprouts, although those are nowhere near harvesting, but we eat so much that I'm like, I'm gonna plant a bunch more for the fall. A bunch more broccoli, a bunch more Brussels sprouts, a bunch more onions. I wish I would have planted more effective carrots. We have little tiny baby carrots coming out. I think they're overcrowded. I feel like we're gonna do a better job of carrots over the fall and winter. I'm gonna have to think that out, like how is the best way to do carrots? Because they're not really working in our tall planters the way I hoped. They're doing okay in the big water trough that we repurposed. They're doing okay there. Zucchinis growing in buckets do not produce the big giant zucchinis that growing outdoors produces, that I've noticed, which The smaller zucchinis are more manageable for like eating for dinner, but I do love to grow some of those huge zucchinis because I like to make like tons of zucchini bread. And so those big giant zucchinis, you really can't, you know, like they're hard to cook on the grill and eat for dinner. They're better for like shredding and making other things with them because they're so huge. So more, I might next year plant zucchinis outside. We'll see. Trying to think what else I have learned. Yeah, the tomatoes. A lot of the plants just aren't even producing fruit, and I don't know. We planted so many that it's going to be okay, but I don't know why that is. If it's the bucket, because we have a hard time planting tomatoes outside because of the birds. They come and eat the fruit like the second it's ripe. So a little unsure about that. The thing that I planted way too much of is peppers. Way too much. We have so many banana peppers of hot and sweet. We have canned a ton. We're gonna have to do a whole nother canning. We also have a ton of jalapenos. We're gonna can a bunch. We love to make sweet and sassy jalapenos, like a sugary, spicy jalapeno pickled. They're delicious to just eat on like cheese and crackers. So we will make a bunch of that. I don't know that I regret planting that many jalapenos just yet, but the peppers, we planted too many peppers. We did not plant enough bell peppers, that I am noticing, because those are also like easier to go bad on the vine, like before they're mature. They're starting to, I won't say rot, but like they're just not going to be a successful fruit. Not all of them, but I would say about half of the fruit, maybe a third of the fruit, is going bad on the vine before it reaches maturity. And I love to make like stuffed bell peppers and like just cut them up and put them on salad and stuff, and we don't have nearly enough bell peppers. So those are my lessons that I have learned from the greenhouse. Let's go take a look. It's loud in here because the fan's going to be going 24/7. I mean, this, I don't know, because Cadence planted this plant in a cup as a project at American Heritage Girls, so I'm not actually sure what kind of cucumbers they are, but they make the absolute most perfect pickles. Just perfect pickles. So we need to do a pickling, like actually make dill pickles, or even maybe those are like perfect sweet pickles. So I might be doing that. We planted some beans, which I also need to plant way more beans and snow peas. That's another thing I wish I would have planted more of. But I am just amazed at how these beans are swirling and curling all the way to the top. Isn't that just so cool? How they wrap around. So we'll see how this comes out. This was our microgreens, so we've reestablished. So you can see the bell peppers, the size that they're at currently. And this is what I mean by kind of going bad on the vine. We see a lot of that. And I don't know, maybe that is rot. If you know what's going on there and how to fix it, do let us know. So maybe I am gonna get a lot more than I think, because these are still coming in. Here's our jalapenos that are getting ready. And then we have like, basically all of this is banana peppers. There's one of these plants are bell peppers. The rest are banana peppers. I don't know. We order banana peppers on our Subway sandwiches, and I think I just got really excited and overcommitted to the banana pepper. A banana pepper looks like this. Lots of them. And we have already, look at that. Those are Brussels sprouts at the top, again, pretty far. This is cilantro. It is just unreal how much it's taken off. Parsley. Our celery is very slow. I'm thinking that'll be more of a fall harvest. And then here's our zucchini plants. Let me see. You can kind of see the smaller size of the zucchini, which is, you know, just not the big giant ones, which is fine. So here's our broccoli coming in. It's really only coming in on this side. For some reason, these broccoli plants are not sprouting as much. Here's another example of the pepper happening. These are small, they're not growing quite as well, although look at that, they're doing okay. Here's our other bell pepper plant. These are actually yellow bell peppers, so we're waiting for them to turn yellow, even though they seem to be at full maturity, so I'm hoping that that's okay. This is also happening to some of our peppers, if you know. If you know, let us know. Okay, the tomato side of things. notice, like this plant, how big and healthy it actually looks? There's not a single tomato growing on this plant. I don't know what's the deal. And then this one, it's like pretty puny, is putting out a ton of these little ones. And we're still getting more at the top here. So that's interesting. Like this one being way more puny has quite a few tomatoes coming in, but these are gonna be this like smaller drop cherry tomatoes that are yellow. So again, a whole nother big plant. This one had 2 tomatoes that were rotting. I need to deal with that. Now these huge plants, again, we're just getting tomatoes at the very top. I mean, there's a few in here. Oh, I guess there's more the more I look. But you would think a plant this big would be putting out, just cranking out. So here's this stage of our bigger tomatoes that survived the rot. But on this big giant plant in front of me, that's the only one I'm seeing in this huge plant. Let's see. Yep. Couple of little ones. Couple of little ones. Let's see as we go through the jungle. This plant, much more small, is putting out some tomatoes. I don't know. Our onions, see, that's not nearly enough onion. Yeah, that's good. And then you can see up here, this is a great example of the black on the bottom of the tomato, the rot that's happening. So we need to get some more Tums in the soil in here, folks. Yeah, this plant is doing pretty good, putting out some good tomatoes for us. I am absolutely dying and sweating. Yes, dying in here. Get out of here. Just the sweatiest. So we're gonna go find another chore to do. I can't even describe how sweaty I am just being in here for that video. Woo!